into war without fear and without anger and fury? Can you keep your cool in the middle of a battle? And is it necessary also in contemplation to have a detachment to whatever comes up in your own mind? See, the classic problem is the sannyasin, the one who goes off and lives in the forest contemplating, avoids the life of action. Right? But he can't escape action because between his ears, meditating, he's going to have to deal with all kinds of content of his mind that's going to urge him, even in the world of imagination, into action. He's still going to have to deal with action, either in here or out here. And he's going to have to keep one pointed here. He's going to have to keep one pointed here. Good heavens, one is back again.
I want to go back to arithmetic. As far as I know, the Greeks didn't have a symbol for zero.
Or, yes.
Whereas the Indians did.
True.
And he starts with a 1, but lots of esoteric systems, let's say Kabbalah, starts with a 0, which is even higher than the 1, or not higher, but predates or comes. It's more abstract than the 1, or I don't know how to put it. Definitely in Kabbalah, 0, and then the Hindus have a 0. You can get the concept of nirvana and all sorts of.
In the Kabbalah, or do they have a 1? Is that
before you get
the 1 or 0? Right? Is there such a thing as 0?
There's the Ein Sof, etc. All the things which come before you actually get 1. Yeah.
Oh, so there is such a thing as 0. It does exist.
They don't call it 0. They call it
unlimited
light.
Okay. But see, if it's unlimited light, then it is something you can talk about. It has light. Therefore, it's 2.
There's 3 zeros which come, you can say, before you even reach the 1.
See, okay. You see, if it is light, and it is, then it's something that is and has light, or these two qualities. Therefore, it's dual.
It's like a Tao. It's as soon as you start describing it, you're going wrong. Okay. So it is something which is just before, even more essential, if you could say, than the 1.
Yeah. See, the idea of the 1 in Plato has no predicates.
In Plato doesn't, but I'm saying in other systems.
Yeah, but you can't even call it 1.
Then it becomes the same as Tao. If you can't call it 1.
You can't call it 1. The first hypothesis, stay there. Right, see, that stays there. Right? So, his idea of the 1
is the same as that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he has 5 different ideas of the 1. And that's one of them. That's a joke.
Historical question.
Pardon me? I was chuckling.
Historical question. Was Benjamin Franklin a philosopher king?
Benjamin?
Franklin.
I don't think so, because there's no room for a guy that goes around and flies kites in the storm.
Yeah, but but wasn't he healthy, wealthy, and wise? Wasn't he healthy, wealthy, and wise, and he was...
I think he's got a lot of very fine qualities. I've never thought of that question. It's a nice one. And if I knew more about Benjamin, I guess I could answer you, but I don't.
It seems like we were all philosopher kings. They were just, some of us were better at being a philosopher king than others are.
And for him, you see, for him, it takes a particular quality which comes from when you're firmly entrenched here, when you can remain there, when you can firmly grasp that realm. See, as he calls it, settled. When one is settled, then there's the birth of intellect and truth. Which then, once that's born, you see why that's so important in Plato. especially in the Republic, that see, the whole training is to bring about that experience. Why? So then you can use that to then do the higher study and pursue the nature of the one. That's why it's used. See, that's the intermediary step. Yeah.
About the philosopher king, within Islam we have a story, and other traditions have the same story described to other people. Ali, the Prophet's son-in-law, the first Imam, was fighting a war, and he was about to kill an unbeliever. And the guy spits in his face, and immediately stops and does not kill him. And the guy says, "Why did you stop? I mean, you were about to kill me for God, and now spat in your face. I expect to be killed." He said, "I was angry. Beforehand I was doing it for the sake of God. Now if I killed you, I would be doing it for my ego. I cannot do that." And immediately the guy sees the truth and converts to Islam, of course. But it's the idea that to be a philosopher king, you have to be a warrior, but you can't take it personally.
Yeah. What's real interesting about this whole republic, you see, is that this is very clearly what is called an analogy. And the question is it meant to be put into existence? Has it ever been put into existence? Can it be put into existence, this republic or politeia? Right? Shall we spend our time and effort in trying to bring about these people then to rule the state? Can it be a blueprint for politics? That's the whole question. Well, I have a great quote for you. Right? And Plato at the end of Book 9 has just what I call a delicious quote. And he deals with that, and he's got a very interesting at the end of Book 9. "I understand," he said, "you mean in our city, the city which we have described and founded in words, for I don't think it exists anywhere on earth." Socrates comes back. "Well, in heaven, perhaps. A pattern of it is indeed laid up for him that has eyes to see, and seeing to settle himself therein. It matters nothing whether it exists anywhere or shall exist, for he would practice the principles of this city only, no other." So it's not even, it's not a, hi.
Hi. I noticed that you used one of Proclus's propositions to talk about the nature of the good and the one. And I was wondering why you did that. I mean, I was surprised. I've never seen you go out of the Republic to talk about a principle from the Republic, like the good and the one being identical.
It would save me a great deal of time, which is why I did it. I have to bring in the theory of art and a lot of other things.
Okay.
So
that was really interesting. I've never seen you do that before. Because you did have to pull in a proposition from another guy who came after Plato.
Yeah, but I think he can also, I think it's possible to find it in Plato too, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
but does it show it better than the Republic? I mean, was that...
Well, did it save me time?
I guess so.
Yes.
Two questions. One,